It's you. The YouTube audience. Boy, I've been living between the trees for the better part of a year. Haven't had any human interaction. But after my soul searching, I thought it would be best that I give a little bit of context about the video you're about to see. I wrote and filmed said video in February 2023. At that time, it was the 5-year anniversary of my web series No Strings Attached. So this video was made in honor of that 5-year anniversary, but it's like the 6 1/3 year anniversary now, so I'm still really proud of it. I think it's very funny and informative. I just never really got around to working on it until recently. So while this video was made for the 5-year anniversary, it's not that anymore, so it's now just kind of a reflection, retrospective sort of thing. Anyway, I can't disclose my location too much. They're gonna find me, but more videos and new stuff will be coming out soon. Okay, bye.
Do I just stop here? I mean, like, the music's done and... Okay, thanks. Is this the guy we're supposed to be cheering for, or is this like the intro act? I don't know, he promised us a talking dog and free food. If you have watched my channel at any point since February 12th, 2018, there's a chance you've seen this face. Or this face. The puppet, he's seen better days. This is Tommy, and he has been the one constant on my channel in the last 5 years. He started as a family in-joke, a sarcastic little brother of myself. Rumors went around in 2018 that my dad would use the Tommy character to tell me things he didn't have the heart to tell me, like,
"Wow, Caleb, you really gotta brush your teeth."
Or,
"Wow, Caleb, you really did bad in those swimming lessons of yours. You ought to try next time."
But those were never confirmed nor denied. We eventually decided to turn these jokes into a comedy series on my YouTube channel, and similar to how I once made a retrospective on my channel once it turned 5 years old, I'm going to be doing the same with Tommy's series, No Strings Attached, title courtesy of my mom. Why? Well, if you want to watch newer episodes coming out, now you don't have to sit through a ton of crappy old ones. So today, I'm looking back at the roots of the show and going through each episode because I find revisiting my childhood and history pretty fascinating. Anyway, let's start with episode... Why was I doing that? Episode 1. I have made it clear in the past that I am not proud of Tommy Season 1. I can respect it because I was in 4th grade and dragging my dad around to film a bunch of little home videos. I made such good memories filming them, and the start of the show was a cornerstone in my creative life, but I don't like this first episode. I'll keep this one brief because I already talked about it in a reaction video from 2021 and a reaction video from 2022. Here is the plot of episode 1. My character is grounded because Tommy is a little annoyance who always gets his way. Along the way, I reminisce on when Tommy was first born, and I annoyed him so much that he's held a grudge against me since day 1. I'm supposed to be in the right here, you know, great character writing. Then I come downstairs for Tommy's 3rd birthday party, and I make the worst, most poorly written, most badly acted, most unfunny joke I've ever put on the internet. Remember that reaction video I referenced? Let's just look back at that.
Would you just shine? Around and dance! Let's dance for the birthday!
What are you doing?
This is one of the worst jokes I've ever put on YouTube. I am not afraid to admit that. Here's my explanation, just because it's so stupid. I'm like, would you shut up? But I don't want my mom to punish me. So I change it to shake around and dance. And I start acting all stupid. And it's so dumb. I hate it.
Then Tommy tricks me and I get in trouble, the end. It's very amateur, it's not that good, but I'm not expecting more either. This one holds a place in my heart. It's not a very special one, but it's in there somewhere. Episode 2 is called Trouble with Trouble. That title is referencing the game Trouble. It sounded a lot cooler in my head. Now it's just kind of stupid. Also, I had no clue what I was trying to do with the title card. It's got no theme or design or relation to the episode. It's just a random shape. Why can this 4th grader not make his graphic designs represent the story he's trying to tell? So in Trouble with Trouble, Tommy orders a board game. He waits for it. Then we play it. in case you want to see a family play a board game for about 9 or 10 minutes out of a 13-minute video. At the end, Tommy loses to my sister, who only exists when the plot needs her to. It's been 4 years. And he demolishes the Paw Patrol pop-up game. Speaking of which, this episode features a musical number from me, my parents, and my siblings in a commercial doing Alvin and the Chipmunks impressions.
It's the Paw Patrol, it's the Paw Patrol, it's the Paw Patrol worldwide game. It's the Paw Patrol, it's the Paw Patrol, it's the Paw Patrol pop-up game.
Wait, is Paw Patrol still a thing? It is. Weird. I wonder if our song had anything to do with that. The melody was later reused as the Steve's Adventures theme because had it not been for this whole retrospective, you would not remember that that song exists. Trouble with Trouble doesn't have that first episode charm to it, so I can't look back at it as fondly, but it's alright. I don't know.
I'm not gonna send you back. I'm just gonna be nice.
Oh, you're gonna be nice.
Do you see what just happened, Tommy?
Yes, Caleb was nice for once.
My dad would use the Tommy character to tell me things he didn't have the heart to tell me.
The Birthday Disaster was filmed on my actual birthday and released 2 days later. If only it took 2 days to make a video now. It took me like a month to even write this video's script. In this one, Tommy is going about causing trouble at my birthday party while I'm trying to impress the Cool Kids Club. Is this like an after-school thing? Does the school sponsor an actual club of cool kids? Because that is very subjective and false. No one who ever goes to school, including myself, is ever cool.
Hey guys, take your shoes in here. How you doing?
Nah, man. Cool kids always wear shoes.
In a bounce house.
Hey, it's me from the future. I also didn't notice something kind of dumb. Tommy doesn't want me to join the Cool Kids Club because he thinks I won't hang out with them anymore, but I wasn't doing that in the first place, so way to be kind of stupid.
Tommy is just a menace. He's blowing out the candles, he's stealing my presents,
Caleb! Yeah, Tommy. Can I come in?
No.
Well, he asks to get in the bounce house, and I say no until he attempts to unplug the machine that is inflating the bounce house. Attempted murder. Classic Tommy. At this point in the show's non-existent timeline, he's 3 years old. There's a whole bit in this one about how Tommy is inviting his friend over, and he doesn't remember her name. That was supposed to be like a running gag. But this friend never shows up. One of my friends had a puppet who was going to appear, and she did. She was on set, but I didn't use any of the footage with that character. That means Tommy has no reason to reference his friend's existence, and from a storytelling standpoint, he just halts the episode for like half a minute to announce someone that's never actually going to be seen on screen or have any impact on the story. Why did I keep this in? I forgot to introduce this segment, so here's this one. It's called Pirates of the I Don't Caribbean. It's got a good ring to it. So Tommy watches a rip-off Pirates of the Caribbean and just decides that he has a pirate ancestor named Tommy Crow. It's like Jack Sparrow, because bird. So Tommy teaches me about Captain Tommy Crow and his ship and his treasure through the wonders of a green screen. Yeah, reality's all breaking apart. Tommy's literally going to the fourth wall and using a green screen.
What the heck? This is just a green screen, Caleb. This is just a cheap special effect. I'm very disappointed.
I'm not saying I expect any better from a 10-year-old, but this chroma key, why? So the rest of the show is some assorted tomfoolery on the boat. I do a poop deck joke because I had no clue what comedy was and my dad was the one carrying the show. So then of course while we're on the boat, Dad drives away and is too clueless to notice us in the boat on the back. He invites us to go fishing, but he doesn't wait for us to get in the truck, he just drives away. Then we're on the boat going to the island, the end.
Run for your lives! There's a shark on the boardwalk! You know, I'm starting to get very tired of these puppet shows. This is supposed to be my vacation.
Tell me things he didn't have the heart to tell me.
In this one, Tommy watches the most poorly made fake documentary ever seen and becomes afraid of sharks. I'm gonna be honest, Beach Bros works better as a home movie of our vacation than it actually does a story. What I mean by that is, For most of it, it's just us walking down the boardwalk, and then Tommy sees a shark, he gets afraid, and then he runs and he sits in a shark, and then he runs away even longer, and then he's afraid of coyotes. The end. Beach Bros is existent. It could have used an actual beach, like what was in the title, and not just the boardwalk surrounding the beach, but it's a cool way to do an on-location shoot, and it's mostly just improvised fun for its runtime. I can't complain. A classic Thanksgiving special in which Tommy invites his friend Davey over for Thanksgiving. Davey's just a sidekick, so he doesn't need much of a character. All he is that he's cool because he says dude a lot. And he also likes food.
Alright, I'm ready for Foodsgiving!
Our grandfather Pops is also introduced in this one. He's wacky. He tells a whole story of how Thanksgiving really started. Has something to do with gambling. This one is alright. It doesn't have much of a plot. It's just a few Thanksgiving vignettes. Oh, I think I'm so fancy saying vignette. Yes, vignette. Vignette. Oui, baguette. Oh, great, yeah. This one also has some of my favorite meta humor in the show.
It looks like the turkey's almost done. Let's try to open it up.
Tommy, don't you need an oven mitt?
Caleb, I practically am an oven mitt.
The final episode of season 1 is the Christmas special, Ho Ho Bro. This one is actually pretty cool for the first season. It has 2 unique plots. The first one is about me walking around the mall, trying to figure out what to get Tommy for Christmas, and I'm remembering past episodes and stuff to help influence my decision. Wait, hold on, this is just a clip show before I knew what clip shows were. Dad, you knew what clip shows were. Why didn't you stop me? The other one is Tommy trying to open his Christmas presents early and causing quite some antics of the highest degree. This one is actually pretty decent. There are some cool effects in this one. We used stop motion in one scene. We brought Tommy down from the balcony.
Go away!
We even got the dog in there. There's a good amount of jokes. Santa comes along. We're all getting presents. It's very nice. Season 2 begins with the opposite of really nice. Bro to School is amazing from a nostalgia standpoint, but it doesn't work. So meanwhile, in the real world, my 5th grade teacher would put a marble in a jar every time our class did something good. Somehow we made it to the top of the jar, and once it was full, we were allowed to pick what kind of party we had. Being kids, we wanted a party where we could bring our electronics into class. Surprise, surprise, little Caleb thought of this as a way to yet again promote his videos. This one is basically my friends and I goofing around with the Tommy puppet in a story where Tommy comes into school disguised as me. You know how I said my dad carries the show? Yeah, fun fact, he couldn't come into school with us and hide under the desks to control the puppet. We had tried, didn't go well, hadn't told anyone, it was creepy, so he was limited to voiceovers, bad voiceovers.
I will do my best. I, Caleb McGrath, will do my best on this meth test.
I was using the mobile version of iMovie. What do you expect? There's no sound mixing, no ambient noise, no nothing, no anything. It feels very cheap and ruins the little immersion that we might have had. And also, I get that I was a kid, but it feels kind of wrong that I roped a bunch of my 5th grade classmates into a video. My close friends of the era, maybe. Everyone else? Sure, I think they had volunteered, but I don't know what their parents would say. And this is like an hour and a half that we got to have the party. I'm dragging them around filming this spelling bee. Oh, why? Was this whole procedure? I don't know. So it's the one video that's sorry, it's not up anymore. Doesn't feel like my type of quality, even for 2019.
I thought you didn't like the Upstate Gazette.
I don't.
Well, if you don't like the Gazette, why are you buying so many papers?
I'm not buying them. The lady keeps sending them to me. And I'm not paying for them. No way.
Broking news is definitely an improvement. You notice a theme there? I was trying to make puns on the word bro in every episode title, whether it was funny or not. So this one is a 2-part special, and on top of that, it has 2 independent storylines. In the main plot, Tommy creates a newspaper to discuss the culture of nursery school, but instead it becomes a hit and he starts getting greedy and telling gossip.
Here's today's issue of the Tommy Times.
Caleb gains weight? 95 pounds? What?
Nobody likes this, so it leads to an angry mob of puppets and Calebs, singular Caleb, that storms the front porch. So when we filmed this scene, my dad was in the front room of the house filming and he was holding the Tommy puppet, while my mom and I were on the porch controlling all the puppets. But the mailman came up while we were filming and just saw my mom and I holding a bunch of puppets on the porch with no visible sign of a camera because my dad was inside. We scarred and confused that man for life, didn't we? I also just love that since we couldn't hold all the mob puppets, there's this one that's just on a paper towel holder. Great production value. In this episode, we're camping and Tommy becomes so afraid of a scary ghost story that he stays quiet for the whole week. Then he becomes so skeptical of the same scary ghost story that he stays loud all week.
The challenge tonight is for you and Tommy together to go down to Site 247, you know, way out at the point.
You mean like the end of the campground?
I know where it is. It's out at the end. 247.
It all culminates with Tommy and I going down to a dark, empty campsite where the mysterious
Old man Moffat
was said to have died. There's a mysterious voice that definitely isn't Pop's and some green screen effects that I was desperately trying to salvage, but this is mobile iMovie we're talking about, so the best you get is this. I've just received word that it probably was possible to fix that, but I really didn't care. This is another one I feel really nostalgic for. These episodes we filmed in places like on location, all the vacations that we took and everything, those all really get to me. Like, look, you've got Tommy and little Caleb riding a bike. I'm never gonna be able to film Tommy riding a bike like Kermit the Frog does, but this is the best you're gonna get. I peaked in 2019, people. There's also a pretty clever joke in this episode during Tommy's phone call with Davey.
I have a dilemma.
Ooh, which kind? The pie or the aid? Both are tasty.
No, not a lemon.
Get it? He likes food. So the joke is that it's a food. No, I'm talking about the other joke.
Well, the thing you must always know about scary stories,
Yeah.
they might always be.
Split decision. Now this one is a fun one. In technical terms, it's called a bottle episode. That is when a show is normally just filmed with a very specific small cast and in one location to save on budget. In this case, the entire 13-minute show was shot in Tommy's and my bedroom. Something like that. Now, all my work has its flaws. Give me a month and I'll notice 20 in this one. Like, I can't do anything with this video's footage because there's an annoying SpongeFan logo in the corner, which was my YouTube name in 2019. It's a watermark of a forgotten era. I didn't need to plaster it over the whole thing. Look, I can do it right there. Thankfully, it's the only source of light in this overly dark nighttime scene, and here I'm complaining about a watermark and everything. My younger self has done wonders to me. Okay, Split Decision is so simple that it's enjoyable. It's got a good Caleb and Tommy dynamic when Dad splits the room in half. I like this one. It feels old while also showing steps towards my newer type of content. And we went on the roof. That was fun. We had my mom up there on a ladder, and she was filming us coming out the window. It was a whole thing. It was one of my favorite things I've filmed. Hey, I think I can finally start being positive. What is with this inconsistent lighting? In Hotel Havoc, we made the best of a medical situation to film a Tommy sketch in a hotel. Tommy's running around, I'm chasing him, he's back in the hotel, I'm out, it's a whole adventure. In the beginning, we asked the throwaway question of, does anyone even realize that Tommy's a puppet?
Because they don't treat puppets locally, Caleb.
What do you mean, puppets?
I don't know, something genetic or something Dad told me about. You know, the whole, does a fish know he lives in water thing that Dad always talks about?
And by the way, this one has one of the coolest cameos we've ever gotten. It was a guy.
Hello, have you seen my little brother?
I haven't seen him. Do you know how he looks like?
Well, he's very small, has fuzzy brown hair, super sarcastic and annoying.
Well, I hope he didn't walk outside the door.
We just asked an employee who worked at the hotel to perform this bit line we needed, and he was really nice about it.
Did someone call my name?
Could again use some better sound mixing, but we still have Tommy poking his head out the window, and we were filming this on like New Year's Eve, and I want to release it on New Year's Eve, all from my mobile iMovie. What are you gonna do? I'm done complaining about the audio editing. Back to the Beach was the final straw for that. I had decent editing software on this one. I used a computer for it. What's the excuse, Caleb?
Well, Tommy, that's exactly what's been happening with me right now. So let me just say, I'm not looking for a girlfriend. I just want to have fun at the water park. Be honest.
This one released in September 2020, 9 months after the last episode we did. I'm gonna blame COVID as if we had a studio we couldn't access. No, we just got lazier.
What time is it? What happened? I overslept.
Now that restrictions were dying down, our beach trip felt different, but we wanted to document it with video the same way we did in 2018. And guess what? Unlike Beach Bros, there's actually one scene filmed on a beach in the episode's entire 3 subplots. It's an improvement. Back to the Beach is a cool one because in this 16 minute episode, we balanced 3 different subplots. Tommy is afraid of a boardwalk ride, I'm at the water park when Tommy accuses me of looking for girls, and Pops arrives late and has no idea where we are, so he's going across all sorts of boardwalk and beach locations to try and find us. I'll also forever love this scene because you have the grown man in a mask, which of course was necessary at the time, but still, and he's got a hood and everything, and he goes all the way back to the back of the ride so he can hold his puppet. It's just, wow, how did we ever do it? This one, while more well-made than others, is still not perfect. There's room for improvement. Like, I don't use any background music during the scenes of me at the water park. It's just faint music playing on the water park speakers that changes in every shot. Pops has some fun voiceovers, that's all I have to say on that.
Can I help you, sir?
Have you seen a McGrath?
The McGraths? What do they look like?
Well, they're tall and one's short.
In conclusion, yeah, pretty okay on season 3. To start off our most recent season is the April Fool's episode. In this one, I think I'm so smart and can foil all of Tommy's epic pranks, but really all the pranks that I avoid end up building into one big prank that avoids me. Wait, that doesn't really make any sense. Never mind.
Did Tommy really think I was gonna slip on this measly banana peel? Oldest trick in the book. Think again.
Depends on what book you're reading, Caleb.
This one is just simple fun, no complaints. I didn't have much to say about it. Oh, and I got covered in oatmeal. Okay, Boat Ride is fantastic. The story is fun, the writing is pretty clever, the audio editing is as good as we could get it. I even made sure the color was right on it, and there's this sequence where Davey is seen and he's going down a slide, and it took so long to do that, it's like I was animating a whole little scene of the puppet and I added a splash effect. There's a perfect amount of cheese and I love it. I am so proud of the way that came out. It was like 2 seconds and it is so worth it. Boat Ride is one of my favorite things I've ever released. If you have not watched it yet and you haven't watched any Tommy videos, watch this one because it took way too much time and it's not terribly long. This one took me too long to finish. Literally, it was supposed to release on the show's 4th anniversary, but it couldn't. It had to wait until the next day because the file was so big that it took until the next day to finish uploading. Why did I film the whole thing in 4K?
Dad, I really have to go to the bathroom. Why did I not think of this before we left? Ow.
Well, because you don't think, Caleb, does he? He doesn't think. No, Dad always says you don't think.
Tell me things he didn't have the heart to tell me.
Irritation technology. I don't have much to say. It's the same thoughts that I had on the last one. It was inspired so much by Seinfeld and a lot of other sitcoms that I watch, and I really enjoy how we took the episode in that direction. There's something about the Caleb and Tommy plot and the Pops subplot, how they're each running alongside each other and they build into one climax. I'm super proud of it. Like, I don't know, it actually feels professional. The music was also fun. I gave like different cues to each character, like the Tommy, whenever in some of Tommy's scenes you can hear the dun 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 theme playing. And then I did new ones for Caleb, like it was based on the Daily Caleb theme because I had been parodying my Daily Caleb videos in that episode. So I gave him like a music cue that was like knockoff, great value Daily Caleb. And I gave it all an electronic theme because the episode is about the computer and everything, so that was a little detail. Papa got some great improv as always, and we got my dad's coworkers to film a scene, which was so cool to do. There's some cinematography that came out pretty neat. I don't know, it's hard to talk about stuff I like. Can I make bad videos again? Like, this probably isn't perfect, but I'm talking the laughably bad ones. I'm not forcing you to watch this one because it's like 20 minutes. Take your time, but if you ever find the time, watch it because it didn't do as well as Boat Ride did. Finally, we did an Elf on the Shelf bit for my whole anthology Christmas special, which also didn't get that many people watching it. I have nothing to say here. It's fun. We shot it all in 2 days. Pops looks terrifying, yet hilarious.
Caleb took my teeth to school.
That's all. So I hope you enjoyed this look back through Tommy's history and learned about some videos you might not have seen otherwise. And if you want, go watch the last 3 or 4 of them, because I think that's actually some pretty consistently enjoyable content. Episodes may be releasing less, but that's because we're doing a little thing called trying. It's so nice revisiting this show for me because it turned from cheap home movies that I made as a kid, and as I'm growing up, it's become a full-on passion project with each new episode. I could never picture myself in 2018 making a 20-minute sitcom episode with 13 different scenes, an original score, and guest cameos. That's what growing up is all about. You gotta make the things that you're really proud of at the time, and then you can laugh at them later if you want. It's all part of the creative process of just getting better and better and refining your work. Aw crap, a lesson. I'm still gonna make fun of my younger self because he deserved it, but it doesn't mean I can't learn from him. Shake around and dance, Caleb out. You know, this was only like 5 pages, but I felt like I spent forever on this. So yeah, share this with your friends if you want. Or not, I can't tell you what to do.